War Rapport family, it's your host C-Dub, and we have a great show lined up for you guys tonight. We preview Week 11. We're going to look at all the games this weekend in the SEC, and of course, we're going to talk in depth about the Auburn-Mississippi State matchup and give our predictions later on in the show, so definitely want to stick around for that. But for now, sit back, get your weight up, because tonight we enter the War Room.
You are now listening to the War Rapport. Wednesday night War Room. Brought to you by Auburn Sports.com. Ike Jones. B. Will. C. Doe. Mike G. Let's go!
War Eagle, everyone. War Eagle, happy Wednesday. Thanks for tuning in to the latest and greatest Wednesday Night War Room, brought to you by our friends over at auburnsports.com. Guys, definitely head on over there to get your latest intel on recruiting and all things Auburn sports. Shout out to JG Tate and those guys over there for doing a great job throughout the week, keeping us updated on Auburn football and basketball, because that season has started now. So definitely head on over there. Also, War Rapport family, you know what to do, guys. If you're watching live with us or on replay, share this video on social media. Please be sure to use hashtag Get Your Weight Up so people can find our content and we can grow our community. So, Mike G, if they're watching, what they need to become?
Listen, get yourself a green name in this chat with an insider membership. If you're looking at somebody with a black name, they have not made one of the greatest decisions a person can make on YouTube, which is becoming a War Rapport insider. $5.99 will get you there. You know, it is, of all the things we do for insiders, besides giving away free stuff, watch the film, which I think the last one we did was the most impactful watch the film that we've done in light of the game and the outcome. Is one of our greatest perks. You definitely want to be part of that. We've got some more in-depth, like watch the film is going to get even more in-depth in the coming weeks. You guys don't want to miss it. Become an insider. At the top of we're at the top of the broadcast, so you guys know what time it is. Hashtag Get Your Weight Up in the comments. This is brought to you by GWT2 Energy. That's our guy, Walt Taylor, in the comments. Walt sponsors these giveaways. So get in this, check your spelling, make sure it's right, so you can be a winner at the 1 hour mark, because that's when we're going to draw. I'll remind you guys halfway through to make sure that you get in there. If you don't win the t-shirt, you can just go to the store and buy one. You can find this link in the About section of our YouTube channel. This is a great way to support our content and get yourself some fly War Rapport gear in the meantime. Special shout out to our sponsor, BUSR. Go to busr.com/rapport, sign up for a membership. Every sign up helps us, whether you make 1 bet a year, 10 bets a year, or maybe you just want to look at lines every day. Who knows? Be part of the conversation. Sign up at busr.com/rapport to support our sponsors, because they support us. Last but not least, we are on podcast, people. You can check out this Wednesday Night War Room on podcast. B's getting that up for you guys. We're bringing you even more content on podcasts in the future. Check us out on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, SoundCloud, Podbean, all that jazz. We're everywhere. The War Rapport is in your living room, in your car. We're with you on the toilet. We're with you.
Are we?
Yeah. Some people listen to podcasts in the bathroom.
Yeah, they do. They do. I want to send a special shout out to Mike and Ike, not the candy, but one half of the War Rapport. These guys did an amazing job this week doing Watch the Film. Of course, I always learn a lot watching it. I got to give a little bit of a reprieve to the receiver corps.
I need to give a reprieve.
I got to. Hey, listen. after that, I have to give them some love.
Yeah.
Of course, shout out Tank, the O-line, and definitely in pass pro, but the receivers, they did not deserve the backlash that I gave them. So I'm here. Listen, when I'm wrong, I'm wrong. So I don't have a problem coming on here and saying, hey, my bad. That's it.
We were all wrong, see.
We were wrong.
Oh wait, I never attacked the receivers.
We know who
Personally.
you thought it was. Anyway, no matter what.
I
We
never
know.
attacked them. I'm a big fan of this receiver core minus one receiver. But
Hey, listen, even that receiver was open on a couple of plays. And he didn't get the ball.
Yeah, listen,
Yeah.
Truth is truth.
Yeah. So how are you guys feeling, man? After watching the film, going into this week against Mississippi State, before we get into our picks, man, we typically do this. How is everyone feeling about this game? Do our hopes getting back up? What's the deal? Ike, how you feeling, bro?
Mississippi State was the one game that left on our schedule that actually worried me. I knew Texas A&M's defense was going to be tough just because we had been in our defensive secondary not playing what I would consider inspired football, right? It made me worry about a team that's the majority of what they're going to do is pitch it around, right? And a quarterback who is pretty accurate, right? Like he's fairly accurate if you give him an opportunity to throw the ball. So I was worried about Mississippi State. I'm still worried about them, but what I do feel is that those windows start to close down. If we can limit the big plays, I think we'll be okay. So I'm feeling okay, but yeah.
B. Will, talk to me. How you feeling, man?
Last week was the last week I got to be excited like something miraculous was going to happen. Okay, so this isn't the miracle season. Last week would have been, a chance to win that game, win out, go to the SEC championship game, and give Georgia a revenge game and all this stuff that could have had. It's not going to happen. So what we're left with is we're bowl eligible. I would like us to get over our, I guess you could say I would like us to get over 8. So winning out and beating Bama, I think does a lot still for recruiting. It does a lot for recruiting to win out. Like, we need that. We absolutely have to have that. This season is not done, but mentally I have accepted. I told y'all this like a month ago. I've accepted where we're at. I've really accepted it now. They got me hyped up last week. All right, I was hyped up last week because I thought some things could happen. It's not on the table anymore. So I'm okay with where we're at. We need to finish strong so we can go ahead and close the deal with some recruits that are still on the table right now. And I think winning out absolutely does that. Whether Ole Miss does their thing or not, we need to win out for our sake. Not for the SEC championship game, but just for us. So I'm encouraged that we can do that. We've still seen tremendous improvement in year one. We've got things to prove to ourselves and our recruits still left in year one. I'm kind of glad that we don't have to cross our fingers every week and hope. Because, listen, let's focus on what's in front of us. It was a tall task to get to the SEC championship game year one in the Harsin era. It's off the table for now. And even if it's not off the table, do you want to go play Georgia again based on what you saw last weekend?
Yes. Don't be weak. Yes, you do.
Don't be weak.
Oh, okay.
You do. You want the smoke. We always want the smoke.
We want the smoke, huh? Okay.
Yeah, we want it. Kind of.
I want it with some different personnel, but I'll leave that at that. But
Fair enough.
I'm at peace. I'm really at ease now. Now it's all about building for the future. I think we've seen enough to know where we're at, and I'm happy about that. We know who we are, and I'm happy about going forward. Hopefully we can just prove a couple people wrong with the games we got left.
Well, at least look at it this way. You used to feel this way about your dreams being dashed in October. It happened in November. Okay? So my whole thing is that, listen, we're getting better. There are improvements. So, we're getting there. It's all, and it's year one, man. I keep telling myself we are ahead of schedule. So, again, we'll pick to finish, 5th in the SEC West? So I like where we are right now. We just got to continue to show improve. Shout out to HGZCAU9 for becoming a member. Appreciate you, my good fella. Also, Mike G, talk to me. How are you feeling, sir?
Well, B's at peace. Again, I am in pieces. I'm worried. I'm worried about the rest of this season. I don't care what anybody says. There is no loss that's off the table after what we watched this past week. Our line had their best pass blocking grades of the season, and our pass game was inept. Now, we went back and we watched the film, and there were some clean pockets. There were some huge holes. And Harson's favorite thing to say, we didn't execute. And if you don't execute, you can get beat by anybody. As a matter of fact, the same South Carolina team, somehow we got an away series with them. So we're on the road 2 straight years at South Carolina, but we're on the road again. I'm worried. Look what South Carolina, Florida proved anybody can get caught slipping in the SEC. Anybody.
Is that what that proved?
Yeah, listen, man, I don't care, man. South Carolina was supposed to be bad, man. They were supposed to be bottom of the barrel.
Florida's
Yeah,
bad.
but Florida is down
But
bad.
Florida is
like,
actually not that good.
they are
I
down
don't
bad.
know. Not that good, and then get beat by South Carolina. I just don't know, man.
And they got beat down. Now, I mean, let's be.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah,
a
they didn't
complete
just
beat down.
lose. They got
Yeah.
run off the field.
Yeah, I kind of wanted to give Southie a little bit of credit for pulling it off, right? But like, I'm just worried. I'm worried. They've got to pull this together. And now, like, I'm not exactly hitting the panic button, but man, I got my eye on the panic room. Yeah, it's just, you know, there's a lot got said, and I don't want to be negative Nancy about this because I was 10-2 guy. Right now, 10-2 is off the table. You know, technically the SEC West is still on the table.
Yeah.
Technically, but after what we watched on this film, from every angle, we got to get it fixed. Now, I'm reading what you guys are writing in the chat. You know, some people want, we need elite wide receivers, and I know I'm going to get heat for saying this. Listen, I want an elite quarterback. I want better quarterback play, right? I want the seniors on this team to uplift the underclassmen, to carry the underclassmen. And I feel like certain position groups on this team have gotten better as the season has gone along, and others have not. Yeah, or at best have been inconsistent.
I was
And
about
now,
to say inconsistent is fair because
Right.
I actually do think that the quarterback play has got some. While I'm strategically dancing around the name, where was this question here? SS Austin asked, Ike, are you
Don't
saying
say
the
it.
name
Don't do it.
today? Probably not. I will refer to it as the quarterback position. Listen, so let me be clear about
Hold on,
this.
wait,
It's
wait.
not because I'm frustrated with the person playing quarterback. It's because maybe if I don't say the name and I just say the quarterback position, people will remove it from a critique about a person and they'll think it's a critique about a particular position.
Yeah,
because
correct,
that's
right.
all I'm critiquing.
Which has
I
been
don't
the-
care who plays the position. I'm talking about how it's being played.
which has been the story at Auburn since I've been an Auburn fan. Find an elite quarterback, and it's championship time. And that's what's frustrating about this. So our current quarterback is the first 3-year starter we've had at quarterback since Brandon Cox. First true 3-year starter. And so everybody's clear, Jason Campbell was not a 4-year starter at Auburn. He started his first 2 seasons and still split time going into his 3rd year. I'm talking about every single game since they've been starting until now. So to be where we're at, that's very frustrating. Quarterbacks don't even last that long. Elite quarterbacks don't last that long in college anymore. They're gone. This is probably their last season if they're not gone already, because they redshirt or they sit for a couple years and then they come in and they play for 2 years and they're gone. So like I'm worried, man. I'm worried. I just think we got to be able to score. We lost a game where our defense held another team, a whole ass other team, to 6 points going into the 4th quarter. And then we lost it by 17. And it wasn't like there was some colossal defensive breakdown in the 4th quarter either. Our defense played their hearts out. And we just couldn't get anything going. Now, I'm still not on the Bobo called a bad game train. So if you are on that, I'm not on that. Like I questioned his play calling early in the season. I am after 10 weeks of watching film, I am no longer questioning his play calling.
Right.
I think this man has done a great job providing opportunities for everybody. O-line, running backs, wide receivers, QB. Everybody has had a chance in this offense to make plays when they're there. Against a good defense, those opportunities may be limited, but they were there on Saturday.
For sure.
Yeah.
They were there, and we just had to hit one or two of them to be in that game. So, I'm a little worried. So I don't know. And when I say I'm worried, Caesar, I don't know what to expect on Saturday.
Gotcha.
That's where I'm at. I have no clue what to expect on Saturday offensively. It seemed like going into this one, we were trending up. And to be clear, even if we had lost this game, but performed admirably, because that's why I told everybody, listen, I won't be off the QB train just because we lose. What would get me off the train is what we saw. I just expected at least an average performance where, certain people have removed themselves, from being a certain percentage of the issue. So, yeah, and I lean hard on seniors, man. I lean hard on juniors and seniors. Once you make it on defense, think about it. Think about who the leaders on our defense are. They're the upperclassmen. The guys playing the best ball are the upperclassmen. This is Kobe McLean's, man. The guys out there balling and telling people where to go and what to do. Those are the guys that we're looking at. It would be so disappointing defensively if Zacoby was out there missing tackles and blowing assignments, and you know what I mean? Think about how disappointed we would be at where he's at in his career if that's the person we were talking about on defense being a letdown.
Well, I mean, to be fair, we are talking about that with Smoke Monday often.
Yeah, for sure.
He's an upperclassman. Right?
I'm not saying
disappointing.
Yeah. He's not immune from this conversation. Yeah, certainly. Right. But it's different at the QB position because that person affects the game more than any other person. Because you touch the ball every play, every decision that's made. I want to see better, or I want to see different. Now I know what everybody's gonna say after. Mike G hates him, and wants to fart on him, and all y'all. I've heard it all at this point on Twitter. I'm just saying, I want to see better. I just want to see something different, because what's happening is, for some guys, they're running out of opportunities to make an impact.
Right.
Because of what's happening from that position. They're running out of opportunities. Yeah. So that's all I want to see. Just better. I just want us to do better.
Well, we're going to talk about later on how Auburn gets back on track against Mississippi State. But for now, let's get into discussing other games on this weekend's slate. But before we get into that, let's kind of see where we stand after Week 10. How are these standings looking?
Don't be trying to be all cheesing because you had the best record from last week.
I know who's
now.
See,
what do you mean?
Let's see.
What do you mean?
He all happy to get to this because he had the best record last week.
I don't know what you're talking about, man. I don't know what
C
you're
is
talking about.
walking me down.
Half
He
the
is
time we
walking
got
me
we got to remind C to put this graphic up, but he
Well,
got the
you
best.
know.
He got the best record this week. He's like, well, before we get too far into this conversation, let me pat myself on the back.
Practice makes perfect, Ike. I remember now. You know what I mean? After 10 weeks, you think I will remember, right?
Okay, all right.
Yeah, I'm just here to just say that I went 5-2, best record, and Mike G went 4-3. B Will went 4-3. Ike, keep your head up, buddy. Keep your head up, brother.
Hey, listen, I don't care nothing about it. Let me just tell y'all something about this here. I shall return to prominence soon. Don't worry about it.
You may make up some ground this week, man, because this is an interesting week.
It's a difficult week to on a couple of games here. So
this could, you can make up some ground really fast. It could be a whole different little record. But for this week, I'm 68-17. Mike G is in last in 63-22. B. Will is still out in front, 70-15. He didn't hit the 70 mark. Ike is 65-20 in third place. So let's see how this stacks out, man. Interested to see how these games go.
Thank you for this vote of confidence, Jay.
Dang, man. What's the
I'm coming up
love?
with, I'm within 2. It can be done. 3 weeks to go, baby. Just a couple of surprise picks, and I cannot be last. I'm excited.
Oh
about it.
man. So let's go ahead and knock out. Let's get one on the board for all of us. Let's talk about New Mexico State visiting Alabama.
Okay, and we can move on.
Bama. All right. And we can move on from this one too. Sanford and Florida.
Oh no, man!
Hey, let's
Florida looked like a
not
whole
so
trash heap.
fast. Not so fast.
Oh
So,
no, bro.
Y'all are so
If for no other
disrespectful.
reason, we have to talk about this.
Yeah, yeah. Dan Mullen fired everybody, right? He fired Grantham.
He fired me.
Yeah. He fired his wife. I mean, he was blaming everybody. I don't know about this one.
Listen,
But-
let me ask you seriously. I know I've been down on Grantham. I have. When I look at his stats for the year, they're not there wasn't the defense. Again, they had a bad game against LSU, but the problems that Florida was having was not by the defense.
Yeah.
But I get it. You gotta scapegoat somebody, right?
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah, you know what I was hearing? Somebody wrote an article, somebody that I don't mind reading, talking about potential defensive coordinator hires. And I read T-Rob's name, and I think that would be an excellent hire for Dan Mullen.
Yeah, I agree. T-Rob would be a good one.
I think T-Rob would be
Where
an
is
excellent
T-Rob
hire.
right now?
Miami.
Miami. Yeah, he went down to Miami this past season.
Yeah.
To be
He should
the
definitely take
secondary coach, though, right? Or is he the DC?
He was a secondary coach.
Yeah, I
think.
thought he thought like assistant defensive coordinator title or something like
Yeah, I
that.
think
I
it's
mean, because
assistant DC,
they were
I think.
talking to him about him possibly coming here, and there were some backdoor negotiations, but it just didn't work out, and they eventually got Derek Mason. But I would like to see T-Rob. You know, he finally got out from under Muschamp, and I think that guy has earned a chance to be a defensive coordinator, and he knows Florida.
Yeah.
And he's recruited there, and he did a great job, man. Those defensive backs he was putting out when he was there with Muschamp, come on, man.
He can recruit. He can recruit his butt
Yeah,
off.
for sure. So, just saying.
So what are we thinking here? So we really think this is going to be a game?
I'm not going to disrespect Florida like this, man. Florida going to win this game, dog. I'm not going to disrespect them like that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to pick Florida. I just didn't think we could gloss over the trash heap that is Florida right now. They're bad.
Yeah, I mean Florida, but man,
we really have to start asking ourselves, like, what's left on Florida's schedule? We know they have to play Florida State. Who's left?
if they lose to Florida State, okay, let me realistically, if
They could lose to Florida State, though.
somebody in Florida State, right? They could. So what I'm asking is, what are they right now? Like 4-5?
4-5.
Okay, let's say they win this one. They've got 2 more games. Who was their second to last game? I need to look this up. I need to know who they got to play.
Who, Florida?
Yeah,
Hold on, I got you. Florida
because
got
it's completely within the realm of
Sanford.
possibility.
Missouri and Florida State.
Oh, they're not gonna lose Missouri. Okay. Oh, that would be embarrassing. Oh.
I mean, they lost to South Carolina. It could happen.
But Missouri is like bad.
I don't know, man. That's what we thought about South Carolina, though.
Yeah.
But
I don't
South
think
Carolina
was
looked
bad. I think that
Yeah.
they've gotten progressively better as the season has gone on.
and
But
they had some QB injury. Both of their QBs were hurt, including the grad assistant guy. That has played into a couple of their losses as well because they were competitive at least.
makes Florida that much worse, man. Because I'm like, bro, they holding their offense together with duct tape, and y'all got lambasted.
Beat. That's what I'm saying. Like, let's not act like it's out of the realm of possibility that they could lose in Missouri.
Man, that's unfortunate. That's really unfortunate.
Okay. Florida.
Yeah.
Okay, let me ask you this. Does Dan Mullen have to win the rest of his games to remain Florida's head coach?
I think so.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes, he cannot drop a game to Florida State. He can't drop a game to Missouri. No,
He has to be. If they are not bowl eligible, then I think he gets fired.
Oh yeah, that's right. He could miss bowl eligibility.
Yeah.
Yikes! What a fall from grace.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah,
Okay.
I would agree. I would agree with that statement. Then I think he's got to win them all.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Or start the season fresh on the frying pan.
Yeah.
Right. At the very least, that seat is
Oh
hot.
no, yeah. If he
Seat
makes it through
warmers.
the season after not getting to a bowl game, then he got to come out like he like number one. He has to have some sort of slam dunk in recruiting. To
So
finish the
don't be
recruiting.
the next Hilton and get fired 2 games into the season.
That they barely kept you anyway.
Yeah.
We may be looking at that because what comes up is when people know you're on the hot seat, coaches too. Then you can't really.
you can't.
Get
It's hard
a
to
land,
recruit.
Like
It's
just
hard
a
to
home
recruit.
run hire. These are like, nah, you about to get fired, dude. I ain't coming there for 1 year.
It's hard to
So
recruit.
The problem though with if you're the athletic director for Florida is who do you replace him with, and is someone available now? Because if they're available now, you've got to pull the trigger. Like you've got to fire him now
Right.
because you can't wait and hope that person doesn't get hired somewhere else during the offseason.
Right. Yeah.
Kevin
Yep.
Steele.
Yeah. And recruiting
I'd be
early
good with
signing.
that. Yeah, Kevin Steele.
yeah.
Yeah.
Melzon?
Take him down there.
as DC.
Yeah, dude.
Special
He got his
teams
first start
coordinator.
as a defensive coordinator, I think. Didn't he coach defense at one point?
I don't
Whatever.
care what
Who
he did
cares?
with his life.
Anyway, all right. Kentucky, we all pick Florida. Kentucky on the road against Vandy.
Yes.
Guess what?
Kentucky's going to win this game. Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
Kentucky gonna win. Will Levis, man, he let me down last week, man. God.
Yeah, Kentucky stops the bleeding this weekend.
Do they?
Against
All right, what
Vandy,
you
for
feeling?
sure.
What you feeling, Mike?
Yeah,
How you
let's go
feeling?
there.
How
Go
you?
there, Mike?
Mike think-
Vandy surprised us one week already this season, did they?
It was against South Carolina.
Yeah, that's right. They did. Oh, that's a lot of L's in a row.
They surprised. They surprised me when they lost to Colorado State.
Yeah, I just pulled their schedule. L. Yep, I think they keep the L train going. Kentucky. Yep.
Okay. All right. All right. This is this is not so much the case anymore. After last weekend, I was going to call this the fight for the bottom, but I think South Carolina has clawed their way out of this, in my
a pick 'em?
opinion. But
It's
this
a
is it's a pick 'em game. I like
That's
the
because Missouri's defense is so bad.
Yeah.
yeah. What are we thinking on this one? I'm leaning South Carolina. Missouri, I like that running back from Missouri, but I'm leaning South Carolina
His
here.
name Beatty, right? That's
Yeah.
Missouri guy?
What you think, Mike G?
I don't know. Come back to me. Second round.
B?
I am going to choose decisively one of these teams in a minute. Give me a second.
I'm picking South Carolina as well. You can. Yeah, I'm not here.
Okay.
I need to
I
check
just-
the injury report. Let me check on the.
That is not how this works, B.
You
I-
trying
I
to make
need
a
to,
bet
man.
with me real quick, man? Nobody got time for all that bull.
If you
Bet
ain't
and
checked
Line
it
sponsored
now,
by BUSR.
who gets in
by
the
way.
who gets in the classroom? Hold on, let me step outside and look up my notes real quick. No, make a pick.
Yeah. Final injury update. I'm gonna go South Carolina, man.
Missouri.
You did.
I was about to say, I
I've
knew
seen
Mike was
Missouri's
going to do
defense.
that. He's going to try to make up ground by going against what everybody else does. So he's
Come
gonna
on,
pick
Missouri. Let's go. Let's go. I got 3 weeks left. I got to pull out all the stops. All of them.
Missouri has a chance because it's at home. I just don't trust that defense at all. So
At all.
Yeah, I
It's
feel
terrible.
that. I feel that. I listen. You guys are all correct about everything you're saying. I need the impossible to be possible.
You're right.
Hilarious. All right, number 25 Arkansas goes to Baton
this is
Rouge.
an interesting one. Actually,
Wait, who'd you pick on the last one? See.
I got South
he picked
Carolina.
South Carolina.
Okay,
Mike's the
so
only
it's
one
just
picked
Mike
Missouri.
over there. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
South LSU, number 25 Arkansas. This is a tough one, guys.
It's an interesting matchup.
I mean, listen. Like,
Go ahead and pick LSU. Go ahead.
LSU came out and gave Bama all they wanted.
They did. You're right.
I mean, they gave them all they wanted. Oh man,
What time is this game?
the game is at 7:30 on SEC Network.
6:30.
6:30 Central. Oh, it's a
Central.
night game.
Arkansas has just creeped
At
back
LSU.
in to the College Football Playoff Committee's top 25 at 25.
LSU night game. That's interesting.
This is tough, man.
I'm gonna pick Arkansas.
Oh, that's interesting. Hey,
Arkansas.
AU fan TJ says LSU has 14 starters out.
Is that how many they had last week?
I was about to say I think that was the case last week as well, and they still played well.
I mean, Max Johnson went 16 for 32 for 160 yards. That's not a great game.
No.
He went 50% passing for 162 TDs and a touchdown.
How much of that was those guys treating Bama as like, this is our bowl game? Like, they got up for
Right.
Bama. How much of it was that?
Yeah.
And can you expect them to come back and duplicate that effort, knowing what we know to be true about the state of their program?
I just don't know if I trust Arkansas, man. Like,
Yeah, you're right. Let me check this injury report.
yeah, I don't know if I trust Arkansas, dude. Like,
Yeah, I mean, the thing about it is I don't trust either of these teams.
Me either.
But I'm going to go with the one whose head coach will definitely be there next year. So
KJ Jefferson,
I'm going
19
Arkansas
for
here too.
23 for 191 in the TD.
I kind of want to go LSU though.
that's why I say this is an interesting matchup. Like I don't think it's
kinda
an
wanna
easy
go
pick, but
LSU.
I'm going to go Arkansas.
I just don't trust Arkansas. I'm gonna go LSU. One last time. I mean,
Well,
listen,
that's a shocker.
They have taken me
going
down.
back to the LSU side. There you
Go
Go
back
on.
to the one you love.
Yeah, that's at home. They got them at night in Death Valley, right? Man, that's tough. That's tough. I don't trust
Yeah.
Arkansas.
Yeah, I mean, again, I don't trust
I mean,
either of these teams.
you,
Jazzy Joe, what
Jazzy
up?
Joe,
Joe.
appreciate. We resting on here. You got it, Ike. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was just saying, what's up to Jazzy Joe? War Eagle to you, brother.
Appreciate you, my friend.
It'd be interesting if Jazzy Joe was like a woman. I just assumed it's because Joe could be a. But usually they don't put the E on there. It's a dude. Never mind.
Josephine.
Josephine, yeah.
I'm just saying, but usually if they refer to themselves as Joe, it's just J-O, not J-O-E.
LSU, man. Come on, LSU.
I'm gonna pick LSU. I'm going
Hey,
LSU.
B. Will
I'm
and
going
Mike
LSU.
going to the LSU. Okay, see? Go LSU, baby.
No, I said Arky.
You got time to change it?
With no conviction.
Yeah.
I'm going Arkansas here. Louis, let's get through the rest of these.
This is an astute observation.
One of those right there. Yes.
One of the truest things you've ever
That's very
said,
true.
Lono. One of the
Yep.
truest things. All right, number 1, Georgia, Tennessee.
Yep.
Georgia. I mean, what are we doing? What are we doing? Now, this is an intriguing game. I'm interested to
is
see
intrigue, for
how
sure.
Tennessee looks.
War Eagle there,
shout
Tony.
out.
I
Tony.
There you go,
appreciate
Tony.
that very
Appreciate
much.
you.
Appreciate
Solid.
you.
Good looking.
I'm
out.
interested to see how Tennessee's offense looks against this defense.
Yeah, listen. Hendon Hooker, old hooky book, had a pretty good game. I mean, I'm not
what?
picking Tennessee, but like,
Okay.
but I think he could, as a QB in this league, he can make a statement
Yeah.
by just having a decent game against Georgia, because they are allowing nothing.
Eugene coming back through the fellowship with us on a Wednesday night. What's up, brother?
Yeah, listen, Eugene, true. Tennessee will score, and that's listen. That's a legitimate worry about whether teams can even score on Georgia. They're giving up less than a touchdown a game.
So Tennessee could expose Georgia for another team later on in the season. Perhaps they can perhaps show a deficiency. We think.
I don't know
Has
about all that.
anybody tried to go tempo against Georgia yet? So they played. Have they played
I don't-
any teams that
I
go
mean,
tempo?
Clemson.
Yeah, Clemson doesn't go tempo for real.
I mean, you got to be efficient to go tempo, but whatever.
Yeah.
Tennessee.
That would be the only team who would try it. right?
Well, that's my
part of
point.
their
Is that
offense.
like this would be something different for them to have to face that they haven't seen before, and it'd be interesting to see if going faster removes their ability to adjust
Right.
and make plays
Right.
the same way. Because
Yeah.
I don't think Florida was going tempo against them for real. And even if they did, both of their quarterbacks can't throw. So
Listen, Hendon Hooker went against Kentucky. He went 15 for 20 for 316 yards and 4 TDs. That is efficient. Like, and when he came in, I've been impressed with him all season under the circumstances that Tennessee has been under. But if they could even put up 2 touchdowns on Georgia, I would be impressed.
Yeah, would you?
I would be impressed with a 2 touchdown performance from Tennessee. So I'm going to watch this one because I want to see how Hooker handles this game here. You know, you got to think. I don't know how Georgia plays this one. He's proven he can burn you downfield if you're not assignment sound.
Right.
Right. And
We'll
they got
see.
some
listen,
receivers.
Heupel is a good offensive coordinator, and their team believes they can win every game that they're in, and that's where it starts.
Yeah,
I'm
that-
still not picking them, but
does Tennessee cover?
20. So the question is
That's
whether or
the
not.
question.
Well, the question for me is not necessarily because I don't think they're going to put up more than 14 points. The question is how many points does their defense surrender, right? Like, is their defense going to be able to slow Georgia down enough for that to matter? Possibly. I don't think Tennessee's trash defensively. They're only giving up 28.2 points per game, right? So if they score a couple touchdowns, then yeah, they can cover.
Yeah. Interesting.
Okay.
So
Be interesting
Georgia,
to see.
but let's keep an eye on it.
All Georgia.
I think the problem that you have here is that Tennessee has not been great against the run, and Georgia is. That's what they're going to do. It's just going to run relentlessly, and so that's the only issue that I see in this game is that even if you can score some points, they're just going to play keep away.
Yeah.
So
We'll definitely keep an eye on that on Saturday. Texas, number 11, Texas A&M
this is an interesting.
goes on the
one as
road
This is the most
to
interesting
Oxford.
matchup of the
Corey
weekend.
Weber, appreciate that. All hail Bruce, 1-0. Wendell Green is the real deal. Jabari smooth as silk. Kessler blocking all the shots. Virginia, you know.
Yeah,
know.
Jabari's gone. Enjoy him while you can.
Yeah.
I think what you wanted to say, if I can find it here.
I don't know if you loaded it up. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't
yes,
think
we
we
did.
did. Yeah.
Ah, they did double dribble.
They double dribble. That was
is
for you.
That was a perfect. That's a perfect illustration of the double dribble, Corey.
That was for you, Corey. That was for you. What are we thinking, guys? What are we thinking here? I mean, we know what we want to have happen.
Yeah. We know.
We know what we
need to have.
want. I think we're all in agreement about what we want to happen
Is
here.
my pick going to be based upon what I want to see happen or what I think will happen is the question here.
Because I think,
Or
I
are
mean,
those things
I
one and the same?
believe,
Ole Miss has some guys out, right?
So what now?
Ole Miss has some guys out, right?
Yeah.
Always.
Yeah, pretty much.
Their strength
And
and
that
conditioning
receiver.
staff is trash.
And that receiver, I thought. Listen, man.
Drummond. No, Drummond. Is he still out?
Do I think that Matt Corral can make a few plays against this defense? Yes. But do I think that Ole Miss's defense can do to A&M's offense what our defense did? No.
Right.
That being said, I'm going Ole Miss because I'm going with hope. That's it. This is not what I think will happen. This is what I want to happen. I can't pick what I think will happen in good conscience.
And you just made yourself enemy number one of every Auburn fan if you pick against Auburn.
I'm picking. Oh, we need Ole Miss to win, right? We need.
No,
Ole
I'm
Miss.
saying if you pick against Auburn, you just said you're picking what you want to happen, not what you think will happen. So anytime you pick against Auburn in the future, that sentiment will echo back in someone's mind. Be like, what happened to
He
hope,
just
Mike?
means for this game.
Yeah,
Just
listen,
for this
man.
game.
I've learned that it doesn't matter what I say. People hear what the hell they want to hear anyway. But
That is a fact.
but
Which is why I know that it will happen.
Yeah, so I'm going with Ole Miss here. I have my questions about Ole Miss's defense.
Fair.
And Calzada, man, listen, man, he can do some good things. Again, that's a vote of confidence for our defense. That's how well I felt like our defense played against them.
Yeah.
We did a fantastic job. Do I think Ole Miss can have that same type of performance? Maybe they don't need it if their offense can take advantage of more opportunities than ours did. But we'll see. So I'm gonna go Ole Miss here. This is not a crazy line on this game.
No. I want Ole Miss to win, but I'm trying to catch up with B, so I'm going A&M here.
Oh.
Who did Ole Miss play last week? Liberty. They played Liberty.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's interesting.
Ole Miss hadn't been high flying the last few weeks, man. Only
They have
27
not.
points against Liberty. Only 20 points against us?
Yeah.
34 against Tennessee.
And arguably, they're playing an even better defense this Saturday.
They are. I would actually put our defense on par with A&M at this point in the season. They were better
Arguably.
earlier,
That's fair.
I would say arguably.
but we're growing into it. We're growing into ours.
Yeah.
So this is a tough one, man.
It is. Very tough one.
Jeez. I kind of don't believe in Lane. He might be a great OC, but as we've seen with OCs who are head coaches, Gus, Mullen, y'all are OCs, and y'all are subject to the same failures if you don't have the talent, which is the head coach's job. Got a lot of guys down, hurt, missing what by all accounts is an NFL offensive lineman that's out. Hadn't really been scoring points since you got all these injuries. But the thing is, man, A&M's offense is really bleh.
Ole Miss's
with you.
defense is really, really.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
It is.
They can run the ball.
Yeah, it's tough. This is tough.
A&M can run the ball. They prove they can run the ball, and Ole Miss is vulnerable against the run.
What B.
We
Will
ran
is
the
really
ball.
fighting here is he doesn't want to pick Jimbo to win again.
Oh no, that's honestly not even it.
Oh, really? That never entered your mind. That's interesting.
Yeah, I'm interested. Yes.
So
yeah.
y'all know how it might be like, hey man, we don't want to see all that taunting. You just do your job. You get back on your side of the field. I don't mind taunting if you win. If you win, you can talk all the trash. Jimbo won this year. He won the game that I said he absolutely would not win, and then he beat us. So I feel like now he might be a despicable little smug little son of a bitch. So I have to. I'm glad everybody else, Ike now dislikes Jimbo more because of his reaction post game. So thank you, Ike, for coming on over.
You're welcome.
But I need to give Jimbo room to breathe, man. He's still overrated, and he's still not who he thinks he is. But
No one said he isn't. So you're in good company. You're okay.
But I need to let him do the losing on the field to justify my position. A pick for Ole Miss is a pick for Auburn. And a pick for B. Will because it's not Jimbo.
It says about time Jimbo pulled the Gus. I'm a dude, by the way. Jazzy Joe, got it, dude. Appreciate the super chat, man.
We've misgendered other people in the chat
Yeah.
before long, so that's why we said
Like
that.
I can't
Not
see
even
them
nothing
little
about
bitty
you.
pictures, bro. Like so I'm just
Right.
like I don't know. I don't want to assume.
What you got, B?
I am going to pick. Oh, that's so hard. I'm gonna take Ole Miss. It's really a toss up, but I'm gonna take Ole Miss.
Mike G. What you got?
I'm Ole Miss. That's it.
Ole Miss. Ike.
I'm going Texas A&M. I just don't think Ole Miss can. I don't think Ole Miss can stop the run, and Texas A&M is just going to run it down their throats. Yeah.
I mean, it's almost for the same reason I'm picking. I mean, not same reason, but it's kind of almost like why I feel good about Georgia against Tennessee. They can run the ball. Like
Now, I want Texas A&M to lose. Get me right in this.
right.
I want them
Absolutely.
to lose.
Absolutely.
I'm picking them to win.
Absolutely.
Prove
I
me
gotta
wrong, please, so we have a shot to still get to Atlanta.
Now this could get me closer to B, or B can pull away. So this is going to be an interesting week.
Yeah,
we
you
will
could tie me up,
definitely, huh?
You could tie me up this week with what we got different.
if it goes right, I can. So you guys, listen, let us know if we're watching live. We've been seeing you guys give your picks. We appreciate that. But if you're watching on replay, definitely let us know your thoughts. If you got any upsets, throw it in the chat. We want to hear from you guys, or in the comment section. We definitely want to hear from y'all. This is a reminder you're watching the Wednesday Night War Room. We're paused to acknowledge the sponsors of the War Rapport.
The War Report's Wednesday Night War Room is brought to you by our generous sponsors. AuburnSports.com. For news and notes on all things Auburn Sports, head over to AuburnSports.com. Our betting partner, BUSR. Bet with confidence at BUSR.com/report. University Ace Hardware, located at 2101 East University Drive in Auburn, Alabama, right across the street from the Auburn Mall and next to the movie theater. For all of your hardware needs, Ace is the place. And our giveaway sponsor, GWT2 Energy. If you want the best in the business at restaurant logistics, check out our friends at GWT2Energy.com.
Hey, listen, become an insider. This is a great thing to do. We've got a lot of great content. If you watch the film and you are an insider, I highly encourage you to go back and watch that. Ike did a great job breaking down what happened, what went wrong, what went right, what we can work on going into the future. Become an insider. Lots of great stuff there for you. And we are partnered with the Lee County Humane Society. Guys, this is a great opportunity to support our content and raise money for a good cause. So if you go to the About section of our YouTube channel, you'll find a link to this GoFundMe. 50 cents on every dollar goes to Lee County Humane Society. The other 50% goes to us to help us continue to grow our platform so that we can continue to help them. Content creation is hard work. So some of you have gone over there and given your hard-earned dollars to us. That does not go unnoticed. It helps us improve the quality of the product that we have as well, too. So you might have noticed the new mics. Your support helps these things happen, so we appreciate that, everybody who goes over to do that. If you missed it at the top of the broadcast, hashtag get your weight up in the comments. This is brought to you by our guy, Walt Taylor. That's GWT2 Energy. You'll see Walt in the comments often. Hashtag get your weight up in the comments to enter the drawing. We're going to draw in about 15 minutes here, so you want to make sure you get into that. Get this AU t-shirt. If you don't win the t-shirt, you can visit our merch store. You can find this link in the About section of our YouTube channel as well. Shout out to our sponsor, BUSR. Visit BUSR.com/rapport. Sign up for an account. Help us by supporting our sponsors. And then go check out our podcast, guys. We are on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Podbean, SoundCloud, anywhere you listen to podcasts. We are there. Go check us out. Well, yep, that's it. I'll come back to it later. Sorry. Oh, yeah, we got another announcement, but I'm going to wait till the end of the broadcast.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Let's get into it, guys. Let's talk about Mississippi State coming in number 17, Auburn. Mississippi State, of course, is at 5-4. Auburn is 6-3. The game, of course, is at 11 a.m. Central Time on ESPN. Auburn is favored. You can tell by the line there. Over and under is 50. Season history. Auburn leads 62-29-3. Of course, we know the game last year, 24-10. A lot changed after that game. So that's that. The Football Power Index, of course, favors Auburn, gives us the best chance of winning this game. So let's talk about it, fellas. We already talked about how we're feeling, but let's kind of structure this to kind of talk about the Mississippi State offense. Now we know what we're dealing with Mississippi State. We know what Leach is all about. He's going to pass the ball a lot, and the numbers bear that out. Mississippi State is top 5 in passing offense in the nation. We know what Will Rogers has done. He's already thrown for over 3,000 yards, 3,300 and 7 yards to be exact. 23 touchdowns, 8 interceptions on the season. So I know that was a concern of yours, Ike. Just in your opinion, if you're Derek Mason, what should we expect to see? I know that on obvious passing situations, we want to get some pressure, so you'll probably see 4 down linemen. But does Auburn switch some things up and play Aiden on the back end. How does Auburn prepare for this offense?
I do think we're going to see probably more dime packages in this game, but I do also think you're going to see them try to mix in some man coverage to cut off some of those quick slant opportunities or those easy throws underneath. Because frankly, they'll take those all day, right? Like they'll just, they'll play pitch underneath forever in Mike Leach's offense. Now, they're going to try to go tempo as well to try to give us some looks that we're not used to and try to get us out of position. But I do think that we're going to see more dime this game than typical.
So one of the guys who we're seeing here is Mekhi Polk, who already has 71 catches for 720 yards already on the season. I'm pretty sure we're going to see McCreary matched up with him, but I'm pretty sure they're going to move him around. There are a few other guys who've had plenty of catches. Marks is another receiver. So, yeah, like how are we feeling about our secondary matching up with Mississippi State's receivers, B. Will?
I feel I'm not. It's hard to say I am or am not worried, because what we saw against Texas A&M was a result of they don't really have that good of a passing game. They're a run-first team. Jimbo knows his quarterback is not that good, so he protects him with the play calling, by running the ball, and by playing good defense. So this is not that. It would be kind of fool's gold for me to say, well, look how good a game we played against A&M. But, yeah, that's the opposite of what we're going to see against Mississippi State. So I don't know if there's carryover there. What I do know is that we do have some carryover as far as how we have looked defending the pass for the last 3 games total. I'm going to throw Texas A&M into that mix because, of course, we did play that game. They dropped some balls and did us some favors. Let's be clear about that. But against Ole Miss, they did a lot of running early. They did some passing early. Derek Mason went at halftime, said, all right, enough of that. Came out, we shut that down. They didn't really score anymore. I think the system has now been kind of set. The players are in. They understand. They still have some habits that are going to leave us vulnerable. Smoke still goes for the big hit instead of the sure tackle. And he's still out of position sometimes. Tennyson being back there, he was a very good physical presence, but they weren't throwing a lot. I don't know if he's going to make the right reads and be in position back there because he didn't have to do much of that. You basically could just attack the line of scrimmage most of the game.
Right.
He doesn't have the reps, I think, is what will worry me. If Tennyson is starting, he doesn't have the reps to identify the way Puckett might, even though Puckett may have been a liability at times too. Yeah. So one safety position I think we're going to have to, I don't want to say worry about. Worry is too strong a word. I'm not worried at all at corner. Simpson, McCreary, I love it. Cool. We're good at corner. Even Kaufman getting some action. He got burned last week. He did. He got burned for that long play. But I think they're just in the mix, man. Our D-line is playing better. We made the choice not to blitz a lot last week. We didn't try to heat up the quarterback. And I think that's why we didn't get much pressure. It'll be interesting to see if they try to go after Will Rogers. I think we stand a good chance to hold them below their averages at the very best. At the very least, we're going to hold them below their points averages. I'm not saying we hold Rogers to like 55% tossing it because he's just been good. Leach knows what he's doing. He knows how to make some safe throws, some predictable, easy throws. And they're going to keep poking at us all game. So, I don't know, man. I'm not incredibly worried. I think our secondary does good enough to win us this game. I think our secondary and our defense play well enough to win us this game. And for me, that means less than 27 points. For Mississippi State. I think they do that for us. I'm not worried about Mississippi State running up 500 yards of offense or 34 points or more, anything like that. I think they score 27 at the absolute most and give our offense a chance to win the game for us.
Jazzy Joe, appreciate the super chat. We played LSU and all they did was throw to even better receivers.
Yeah, Penn State the same. So I mean, it's not going to be the first time that we're going to be facing a team that's going to be primary or going to be a throw first team. To me, I think the difference in these two is not necessarily the approach that they take offensively. It's more so how good their defense is. And Mississippi State has a better defense than both of those teams.
Yeah, it's true.
Mike G, talk to me, man. we saw last week Will Rogers when he got outside the pocket trying to make a play. We saw him trying to force some throws, threw an interception against Arkansas. Talk about what does Auburn have to do to kind of disrupt the timing of this offense and put Will Rogers in a situation where he feels he has to press. Is that the game plan, or what are you thinking? What are you thinking the deal is up front, or with some of your favorite guys, McClain, Papo? What do you think Auburn does to disrupt the timing of this offense?
Well, so you can't talk about this without talking about what they're up against. This guy, Will Rogers, leads the NCAA in pass attempts. The next closest competitor is 50 pass attempts behind him or 40 pass attempts behind him. So they pass the ball a lot. They're averaging only 56 rush yards a game. So we've talked a lot this season about trying to make teams one-dimensional. Mississippi State just makes themselves one-dimensional.
Right.
So the number one thing you cannot do is you cannot let a team that intentionally doesn't do a thing on purpose come in and do that thing.
Right.
This can't be the game where they find a run game magically. Right. Now, we have done that before, so I just want to put that out there first. So under the, condition that we're not going to let them run the ball on us suddenly and that they have to pass it, I feel a lot better about our pass defense than I did earlier in the season. I noted that Kaufman got a ton of playing time against A&M. So I saw him out there. He had a great hustle play. They've got to play better. Will Rogers will throw some at you. I mean, he's 75% completion percentage on the season, which is ridiculous. However, he's got 8 interceptions. Now, that's not unusual because of the high amount of pass attempts that they have. So, yes, he will throw some at you. You got to catch him. In this game, you have to catch him. You can't let him sling the ball all over the place because you can't necessarily count on their receivers to drop the ball either. Now, their top 2 receivers have one more drop than our top 2 receivers, right? Their top 2 receivers have 5 drops apiece on the season, which may not sound good, but unfortunately, they have 2 receivers that have at least 60 receptions so far this season. 60. We don't have a single receiver that's broken 30.
Yeah.
So drops versus volume is actually not that terrible, right? They've dropped 24 passes on the season total, but they've only got 2 more drops than we do on the season, but they've got 180 more pass attempts than we do. So this team can move the ball through the air. Their short passing game is their running game.
Yeah.
That's what it is for them. If they need 5 yards, quick slant, quick out, 2-step drop, release. That's how they play football. And to do that, it requires accuracy from your quarterback, which they seem to have. This is going to be just about taking advantage of opportunities when they're there defensively. He's going to give them some opportunities at turnovers. If for some reason we can bother him, if we can generate a pass rush, because that's probably beside pass defense, the one thing that's been a little underwhelming about this Auburn defense this year as the season has gone on has been inability to get pressure on the quarterback. During Texas A&M, I felt like they did almost everything well except for that. Just get in Calzada's face a little bit more. And Mississippi State is not going to make that easy on us at all. So I'm worried. I'm worried. I'm worried because their quarterback is accurate, and sometimes you can out-throw good defense.
Yes.
Even if we play tight coverage, the way they play offense, it's 5 yards at a time. If their receivers are catching it and we're not physically batting the balls down, but we're getting good coverage, it could be a long, long day of them just dropping the ball down the field on us. But hopefully it doesn't result in points. If we can tighten up in the red zone, though, once that field shrinks inside the 20, that's where we have been really good, advantage Auburn.
Yeah.
But this game should worry everybody. Their quarterback is playing good football, and he clearly understands their offensive concepts and what his coach wants him to do.
Right.
Now, we know a quarterback that played for Mike Leach. He comes on our channel often and talks about the concepts that they were taught and, what he expects of his quarterbacks. And this is going to be one of those things where, the beginning of the season, I thought, circle this one, W. And now this game, how we handle this pass offense will be the difference between whether I feel like I can, in good conscience, pick us to win the Iron Bowl this year or not. If we can't win this game, we can't at least look competent in this game, on defense. I don't know that I'll pick us in that game either. So Auburn needs to do something different. Now the good news is defense has been building momentum all year. They have done well. Every aspect of this defense has improved, even if only marginally.
Right.
But they've gotten better. They've gotten healthier. I think having Papo back, although I'm not sure he had a great game, Ike, against A&M, right? But his presence on the field does make a difference in some areas. If they can find a way to get him and Leota and maybe mix in some corner blitzes or anything to get to Will Rogers, man, and just disrupt him a little bit to win field position, give our offense some short fields, and get them in the end zone early so that we're not playing catch-up, because Mississippi State is built to come from behind.
Right. And they've done it. They have done it.
They can sling the ball all over the field. So we might need to get up and then hold on for dear life. I could see this potentially being a game in the 30s. I believe in our defense, though. I think if they're intentionally going to be one-dimensional, you might see Mississippi State come out and try to act like they're going to run the ball at least early to keep us honest, to try to keep us honest, and then go back to doing whatever it is, they do, which is a million throws a second.
What I've seen them do, especially when they get in short yardage, is when they try to run the ball. They're not really. I mean, they're just not good at it. They don't do it, so they're not really as efficient at running the ball. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see how we defend the pass. And I liked what Mason has been doing the past couple of games with his game planning. So I don't anticipate him giving up those slants in this game, because to Ike's point, Mississippi State will take that all game. Mm-hmm. So I'm curious to see what type of coverages we use, how he mixes it up, and how we prepare for those guys. So the Mississippi State offense versus our defense is something. Is this the matchup of the game, or is it the other side of the ball that we need to discuss, guys?
I think that's it. I think that's the matchup of the game, honestly.
The matchup of the game is our defense versus their offense.
Our pass defense versus their pass offense.
Yeah, I think so too.
So we win that, we win the game, obviously, because that's all Mississippi State's going to do. Okay.
Maybe.
So definitely we have to, talk about the fact that Mississippi State has a decent defense, but they are giving up over 300 yards per game, right? They're not giving up a ton of points. They're giving up a decent amount of points, but they're not surrendering a whole bunch of points. I do think that this is going to be a bounce back performance from our offense this week, though. I think that the run game, though it did not seem effective against Texas A&M, they figured some stuff out in the run game. If you watched what we were talking about on Watch the Film, it's something that I had been discussing, just the way that the offensive line was blocking and getting to the second level. I saw that a little bit more in this game. I think Tank is back running the way he needs to. I think we're going to see a bounce back performance from Jarquez Hunter as well in this. Last couple of games, he hasn't been a huge impact player. You saw a couple of times in this Texas A&M game, they were trying to get him involved in the pass game on screens. I just think he's going to pop some big play for us in this game, and it's going to be the difference in the way that Mississippi State then has to game plan for us. So I'm looking for our running backs to be very effective in this game, whether that is in the short pass and take off upfield or just in the run game in general.
We're going to definitely talk more about our offense versus our defense in a few, but we have a shirt to give away, right?
We do
Get
have
to
a
it.
shirt to give away. Let's get this up here.
Hashtag get your weight up, guys, in the comments if you want to enter to win.
I don't know that Jarquez Hunter really had a bad game versus A&M.
I mean, he didn't get a lot of touches. I'm not saying
4 carries.
I'm not saying I didn't say against Texas A&M he had a bad game. I just don't think recently he's been running particularly well. 83. Gosh.
Oh man, that's that A&M loss, man. It
I mean, we still
hampered
got
everybody's
275 people in here. Only 83 entries though.
I'm finna jump in this mug, and I want my shirt if I win too.
Ha!
Give me.
I
my
think
shirt.
Wait for
funny.
B.
I
Will.
think
As
it's
soon as
funny
B. Will
how-
enters this, as I'm closing it down. I don't care how many people are in this. I'm shutting it down after I see B. Will's name pop up on here.
So it's funny how folks start putting he gone even before we even brought up the.
There you go.
All right, let me see. Get in him. Hadn't popped up on our screen yet, but
No, I've been putting
Yeah,
it in. It's
it's
way up.
100.
all right. Let's do it.
Go ahead and draw that bad boy.
He said, "See, I'm passing."
Yeah.
Switch it up,
opposite
man.
day. Opposite
Way
day.
to switch it up.
Corey showed twice it. Anybody else see it?
Knee ye of the Tigers.
Yes. Are you here though?
Question: is he here?
Are you here? Well, we'll come back to that.
Knee ye of the Tigers.
Guys,
Hopefully
be
you're
on the
here for this
lookout
shirt.
for him. So, talking about the offense, Mississippi State's defense is pretty good. They are ranked in the top 15. Actually, they're tied for 12 or 11, I should say, in rush defense. They're only allowing. Oh, he's here. You know what to do, sir.
Email us, business at the War Rapport. Business at the War Rapport. We need your address and your T-shirt size, sir, so we can get that out to you.
Congratulations. So Mississippi State is only giving up over 100 yards a game on the ground. And so we know how important our run game is to our offense, right? So you feel like this is the game we bounce back on offensively on the ground.
I do. I just think that the commitment to it is going to be different in this game. I'm just looking for our offensive line to get into a better groove when it comes to that. The question for me is going to be what combination of people they're going to be putting up there on the offensive line, though, because we had some guys who went down with injury in the last game. They've been trying to figure that out. So if we've got a solidified way that we want to attack, I think that we can, do well. Now, do well is relative. Like, I don't know how much over 100 yards they're going to get on the ground, but I do think that we can break the 100-yard mark, and then that opens things up for the play action a little bit more. But again, I said I think the running backs will have an impact on this game. Might not necessarily just be running the ball. I think catching the ball as well is going to be something we'll see out of them.
B. Will, how you feeling this week about our offense going against Mississippi State's defense, and what do you think the point of emphasis will be in order for Auburn to get the win this weekend?
Well, we had not a great day through the air against Texas A&M, and even though our rushing total wasn't impressive, part of that was due to very low and bad rushing numbers by the quarterback. The couple sacks he took, and he wasn't really productive on the ground anyway, so that hurt the rushing total. But also, like Ike said, Jarquez didn't get a lot of carries. Chavez got a few carries. But I'm with Ike. The way we ran the ball, Tank had some 7, 8, 9, 10-yard runs, and we hadn't really seen a lot of that from anybody. We've had some 3, 4, 5s and some 6s, but I was like, man, I know this defense is good at Texas A&M last week, but we were able to break off some really good runs and some really big holes against that defense. So I am encouraged by that. Now, Mississippi State is a very good run defense because even though they throw the ball a lot, they are not ahead of people by a lot. It's not like they're chucking it and then they're up 20, so you got to throw. No, it's usually a very tight game. They're neck and neck with people, and it's come down to the wire for a lot of their games. So being able to hold people down in the rush department, that's a little concerning. That means they're really good at it. They were able to hold A&M down considerably. They made Arkansas play a very tight game. But I always think, and this is something we'll learn about Harsin going forward, how do you respond to a bad game? We played very poorly against Georgia. Not so poorly. It didn't turn out like we wanted, but I think they used that as a springboard to improve over the next few games. Now, of course, the competition wasn't the same, but you still have to go out there and execute. And we saw better play, even on film, from our offense after the Georgia game. So I think the loss may have done something for this team. I think there's a good chance that has all of that too. Yeah. But
That's on me. I was trying to boot him out the chat, and I clicked it to put him on the screen. Go ahead.
Gotcha.
Honestly, I don't really have a lot of concrete evidence, and that's what I'm trying to work through. I think we bounce back because Harsin is the type of coach to go back to practice, set the standard, reset the standard, that is, and make sure they are focused for the next game. 1-0 has been the mantra since the offseason, and I really think he's getting that home. I'm not worried that it's early. I'm not worried that it's away. Oh, excuse me, this is not away, it's at home, but I wouldn't worry if it were an away game. I think he knows how to get us focused. Now, that doesn't mean we're going to go out there and execute. It doesn't. But I do think he has us prepared to play this game, and we play a better game simply because of how we left the field last week. I don't think anybody wants that to be a lingering memory, or to give the fans a reason to doubt what we are and what we can do. And I think every player on offense, Bo included, has to wash the taste of that last game out of their mouth. So
For sure.
I'm expecting us to look more focused than we were last week by far, and I expect us to look more competent. I'm not telling you that means we're just hands down. Yeah, we're gonna put up 40. It's the SEC, man. We have almost a whole season of data now that says Mississippi State is good on defense. The quarterback is good. He's not giving the ball away a whole bunch for how much he throws it. They're not a bad team, and we're not a great team. So two teams that are kind of on equal footing, yeah, you can lose. You can go out there and lose, but I don't think it's not going to be the letdown it was last week. We're going to score more than 3 points. I think we score more than 20 points. Exactly how many more, I'm not sure yet, but that's what I think.
Mike G, let me ask you something. Are you worried?
Don't worry. Don't worry. Listen, I mean, I hear what you guys are saying about the run game. I think running is going to be a necessity because, guys, the only game that we've won this year where Bo has more than 30 pass attempts was LSU. Ole Miss, he had 30 on the dot. But also versus Ole Miss, we had more rush attempts than we had pass attempts. So we need more than 30 rush attempts, and we need fewer than 30 pass attempts, 30 or fewer. That's the formula for this team. Once we get into a scenario where we are passing it significantly more than we are running it, we're going to lose. So running the ball is an absolute, all the data suggests that running the ball is an absolute necessity for this team. They have to. Last week, we had 41 pass attempts to 29 carries. That is a losing formula for Auburn. Now you get behind and you got to start throwing the ball all over the place, right? But think about this. Right. Think about this. We weren't behind for most of that game.
Yeah, but we just couldn't run effectively enough.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right. So that was
so I don't think, I mean, I know their rush defense is pretty good. If their rush defense does to our rush offense what A&M's did, again, I'm worried. I have no choice. The data says I should worry about that. Because if we're forced to throw the ball 40 times, that's never worked out. Yeah. That's literally never worked out. We don't complete passes at a high enough clip for that to be a good thing for Auburn. You know, if 40 pass attempts at minimum has to mean at least like 28 to 30 completions to offset the loss of rush yards. So, I mean, it's pretty simple for me. Run the ball, throw it just enough. And then hit passes at a high clip, man. Don't miss your shots downfield. Now going into Texas A&M, I made a commitment to our viewers. And I said, I will take a shot for every pass that we complete of 20 yards or more down the field.
Tragic.
I was sober as hell on Saturday. I couldn't believe it. I just started drinking just because. I was like, well, you know what? I already pulled it out of the freezer. Might as well just drink. Not a single one. Not one. Wow. So we need to hit our deep shots. I think there's a possibility we get Malcolm Johnson back in this game. He's been missing. I don't want to say why, but he's been missing, right? And if we get Malcolm back, and there's a couple other guys that may come back, I mean, we just have to run the ball, man. Run the ball. You know, to Ike's point, Jarquez Hunter has to get involved. It can't be all Tank. You know, I've not been. I like Shivers. I've just not been a big Shivers guy. So I think Tank Jarquez needs to get involved. Yeah. But you know, that's pretty much where we're at here. Run it more than you pass it, and I think Auburn can win this game.
So is that safe to say that Auburn wins if the run game goes off?
Yeah, I just think if we find a way to run it more than we pass it in this game, it's really that simple.
Okay.
Right, because if you're running it, you're controlling the clock and you're keeping Will Rogers off the field. Sometimes your best defense is a good offense.
Yeah. And I think that's absolutely a key to this is making sure Mississippi State just is not on the field very often. Right? Let's just don't give them very many at-bats to be able to put up points against you. Because I don't want to see a shootout scenario where we're having to, like it was looking like it was going to be against Ole Miss, where it's like, all right, they're scoring and then we score and they score. It's like, I don't want to see none of that. Like, just possess the ball. Make it to where they have to commit more people to the run and give the opportunities for Bo to be wide open, right? Like you want him throwing to guys who are wide open out there, and you know, hopefully this time he sees them. Dang, I said his name. My bad.
It's hard.
But again, this is not about the person in particular. This is about the position. I literally don't care who plays the position. The quarterback needs to be able to see the field and hit open receivers when the opportunity is there. I do think in this game, we are likely going to see them go back to the formula of run the quarterback early, though. They're going to try to run a little bit more with the quarterback to keep them off kilter with who's going to have the ball in whatever scenario. They tried to get cute, in my opinion, and fake the situation where Bo has the basically the QB sweep around left side, and they actually pitched it. It was wide open, right? Like I just think, listen, make them stop it before you switch it up. So
yeah.
Do you expect to see a lot of that in the red zone? Right.
QB runs in the red zone.
Yeah, I mean those were very effective down there.
I think that's the place where it becomes the most difficult to stop it, just because, especially like typically what you're going to be doing is doing a lot more lateral stretches rather than vertical because there's not room to go vertical. So yeah. Oh, this is Jazzy Joe says Roy Finkel needs to make something. This is a fact.
I mean, listen, this is
Mississippi State
underrated.
can't kick for real either, though.
Right.
So let's be clear about that.
Right.
If we continue with the bend but don't break defense, it could be a long day for Mississippi State if they have to figure out how to either make it 4th and short in the red zone or kick field goals.
For all the complaints people have had with Carlson, their kicker has been abysmal kicking. So
atrocious.
Auburn wins if B.
Why you gotta do it to me, man?
It's that time.
Auburn wins if we can complete passes at a greater than 60% completion rate. That was my key to the season.
I was about to say that's the key to the season for
Yeah.
Bill right there. So
Yeah, that was
60?
it.
Did you say 60 or 60?
No, the season was 65.
Okay,
this
yeah.
game is 60.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's the last game. Because I mean, the last game it wasn't, and Georgia it wasn't.
It was like 59
60.
in the last game, wasn't it?
Oh, so yeah.
So
It's not that one or two more
See.
passes would have made the difference in that game. Well, I don't know. It
Yeah,
depends on which
yeah,
pass
yeah.
you're talking
Depends on
about.
which pass.
which pass.
Depends on which one.
Yeah. So
two passes definitely would have made a difference.
Yeah, I'm gonna say greater than 60% completion rate. I think that's a good target for, again, knowing who we are, what we've got, assuming again that Bo is gonna continue being the starter. 60%. You know what? If it's early and he gets that early, then he's gonna be better than 60%. If they get him making completions early, he really carries that momentum through the entire game. But if we stall out, a couple drives end early, 3 and outs, then the pressure starts to mount, and then he's in his head, reacts too quickly, overreacts to some things, thinks too hard, makes some mistakes, press too hard. Then that's going to be hard to do. But again, I think we're due for a bounce back because I think the staff, the coaching staff, knows the team, knows our strengths and weaknesses, and we're at home. And that's even if we aren't shaking on the road like we used to be, every team still plays better at home. So I'm going to factor that in too and say we do hit that 60% completion rate from the quarterback position.
Georgia State was a home game. Just putting that out there.
Zacoby wasn't there though, man. It was all about Zacoby. You know what I'm saying?
I feel you.
Zacoby was
The offense was still trash though.
Hey man, stop talking. Stop talking. You're making too much sense over there, man. Shut up.
I got pretty much. I didn't ask Mike and Ike specifically, but I'm hearing run game, run the ball. No, I'm pretty. Auburn runs the ball well,
I
keeping
think
Mississippi State off the field.
You have to at least get 125, I think, on the ground.
Okay.
I don't care who it comes from. 125 is where I feel like if we can break that threshold, we'll get into a space where it opens it up for everybody else.
You agree, Mike, or does Auburn need to go a little higher than that?
Yeah. I mean, that's cutting it close for me. But yeah, I can't disagree with that. I think you got to break 100 yards at least. And I told a lie. We did win a game where we did throw the ball more than 30 times. It was Georgia State. It just wasn't by any single quarterback.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Two different quarterbacks had to get that done for us to win that game. So 27 attempts by Bo, 16 attempts by Finley.
Okay.
I don't know, guys. Like I'm torn on this one.
Well, since you're hold that, Mike. Let's go ahead and just get our picks out. Let's go ahead. It's that time.
Nah,
It's
go
that.
ahead. Yeah.
What you about to say? What you about to say?
We're good. We're good. Go ahead.
Let's.
I just didn't know. Mike said he wanted to come back to some announcement. I didn't know if he wanted to do that before.
Oh yeah. Hey, listen. As inside, because you guys who have been coming insiders, $5.99, you have done it. You have supported us. We appreciate that as a thank you. We give away tickets every week. This week, our guy Mike Hicks has won the Mississippi State.
Hey,
tickets.
congrats, Mike.
He won the tickets. Congratulations to Mike. He's been a long-time insider. He's been watching us since actually there were like 2 people on this, Mike and
man, Mike
Mike's
was here.
friend. Right? So,
Day one, man, day one.
Yeah, he's one of our day ones. When his name popped up off the raffle, I was like, wow, okay, right? One of our OGs won it. He's been an insider for a long time, so I appreciate Mike. If you did not win this week,
You got one more shot.
yeah, one more shot, man. Then it's the Iron Bowl. So we will be giving away tickets. If we get any additional tickets, we will also raffle those off. So that's petty. That's so petty.
It is, and I don't care.
I love it.
Yeah.
That is my level of petty.
Yeah.
The hell with that helmet.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, that helmet be damned. So we are going to give away tickets to that game, strictly insiders only. We gave away a couple sets of tickets we gave away 2 extra tickets to regular subs to Alabama State, and also
Ole Miss, wasn't it?
Ole Miss, yeah,
Yeah.
right, because we had some tickets donated. So if we get any more tickets donated, we will definitely give those away. But congratulations, Mike. Stick in there. You could win.
Me and Ye of the Tigers. This is the
He said
greatest
it
podcast.
is. He said it's my eye of the Tigers.
I see what you did there. Okay, my
Okay.
Yeah, we on here.
Eye of the Tigers.
Mio.
Butchering it.
Yep.
Says this is the greatest podcast on air. Now I get a shirt to advertise it. If you're not an insider, you're missing some great content. Thank you so much, sir, for that. Also, Tony, basketball team look good. Basketball War Rapport.
Hey.
We need it. Ask, you shall receive.
Shall receive. Indeed.
Yeah.
You shall receive.
Hey, hold on, wait, time out. Hey, listen, welcome, Cassie. I love when fans of other schools come into the chat just to say what's up. Since you're a UT student, congratulations on doing some things in light of other things at UT. So we appreciate you stopping by to say hi
Welcome.
at the War Report. Always welcome. Always welcome.
Yeah, basketball, man. We're going to do basketball justice, but football season is still live. We got a format. We're trying to bring y'all this football content. We got a few more weeks. We're gonna pick up on the basketball side. Here
We're gonna do that this year.
Yeah,
Let me just say
basketball-
this as a teaser. I am going to drop this shirt soon, but we will give away the first one Sunday.
Okay.
Okay.
He going?
I love it. I love it.
Yeah, I'm going to give away the first one of those shirts this coming Sunday,
Okay.
and then I will make them available for people to purchase on Monday.
I
Yeah,
can't
so-
wait to wear that, and people like, "What are you talking about?" Like, don't even worry about it, man. It ain't for you. It
Inside
ain't for
joke.
you.
It ain't for you. The basketball content is coming though, guys. Ike is going to be covering the basketball game this Friday. Live from Auburn Arena, and I was actually going. Yeah, our basketball content is going to be something. And if you guys haven't noticed, we post the weekly and the post game pressers for basketball as well too. So if you're looking to see what the players are saying after the game, check with us about 20 minutes after the game. We'll have all those press conferences up for you guys to watch.
That'd be so funny if someone wins that shirt and they gone. Just thought about that.
He said he wanted an extra medium.
That's funny.
Hey, no doubt.
All right,
No doubt.
guys, let's pick 'em time. I'm going Auburn 34. Auburn 34, Mississippi State 24. I think Auburn gets it done by double digit score in this game. AU 34, State 24. Good guys. Ike.
Come on, Ike.
I am going to say, the score is the harder part for me. I'm picking Auburn to win, so let me kill the suspense on anybody thinking I'm deliberating on whether or not Auburn's going to win.
Okay. All right.
Oh, blessed be the name of the Tigers. 27-20 Auburn.
Okay. B.
I got two options.
Oh, wait a minute. I just gave Mississippi State a field goal. 27-21.
Okay.
They
Yeah,
might
me
hit
too.
a field goal. They can get to the 5. You know what I'm saying?
I don't believe in their field goal. 27-21.
You right. That's a good point, Ike. 21-34 for me. Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to say, I think Auburn scores 27 points. I think Mississippi State scores 24 points.
I almost went 24, but again, I'd have to believe their field goal kicker could hit something. So
I had 24, but I had
27-24 Auburn.
somebody put 3-2.
That's a thing that happened.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
that's a
wild.
throwback score right there.
Okay. Mike. Before you answer that, let me ask you a question.
We're going to be in for a ride. Go, everybody get ready.
Are you nervous? Just, you nervous?
Yeah, I'm nervous about this game.
Okay. Now go. What you got?
So my guy, there's a guy on Twitter that I interact with from the Locked On chat universe. His name is Evan Shank. And he was making some interesting points to me about QB play. And I know it's not all about QB play, so I'm not insinuating. But if Mississippi State executes their defensive game plan, it will be all about QB play.
Mm-hmm.
So, he went back. He was revisiting Texas A&M and just was kind of saying his thoughts were it might have been a good idea, even if you start Bo in this game, to sit him down in that fourth quarter. Because once he starts to go south, it just has never come back, right? And our coach said something that I thought was curious during that game, during the post-game presser. And I asked the question, was there you talked about needing a spark, and when we were down versus Georgia State, you turned to TJ Finley for that spark. Was there any point during this fourth quarter where you considered putting TJ in? And he didn't say that he didn't. He just said that he felt like Bo could still get us that spark. And then I'm paraphrasing here, so if I'm not quoting him correctly, forgive me, because I hate being misquoted, and I hate misquoting. But he essentially said something to the effect of, he's done that for us before this year. Like, we've been able to get that spark from him. And I respectfully disagree with that statement. I cannot think of a single game where Bo played the way he was playing at the beginning and then found the spark at the end of the game suddenly. I will stand corrected. If anybody can point out a game where that happened that way, I've seen games where he's played great the whole game, where he's played great at the beginning and maybe tapered off near the end and we still won, but I've never seen a game where he started off in the first quarter and finished hot in the fourth quarter. So
CMP, he still didn't have a great game at LSU. We're remembering the wow plays, but in between that was a lot of
no. And on that final drive, it was all Jarquez in one pass.
Yeah.
And even to that point, early, it's not like it was terrible early. We were moving the ball early. And he got free license to do some wheeling and dealing early. So he was never out of the game the way he was against Georgia and A&M.
So so my question is, if he's our quarterback for this game, it will be for the whole game. Is he still in Texas A&M mental mode, or have they found a way to hit the reset button mentally for Bo going into this one? Because teams like Georgia State have, at times, teams have been able to force us to throw the ball. We don't have the type of offensive line where we can just run at will on people. You can scheme against our run game and you can stop our running backs because our line, they're just not those guys this year. And I'm not super down on them. I just think that's our identity this year. So I'm sitting here thinking, what if Mississippi State can do what other teams have been able to do against our run game this year, and they have a pretty good run defense already? Where does that leaves us in the same position where we need plays to be made from the quarterback position, right? And Bo, a lot of you guys have described him as a streak shooter. He's a streak shooter. And he ended on a really bad streak. 5 of his last 15 passes at A&M. And say what you want, but those weren't all those. That wasn't like 10 drops. That was one drop down the stretch of that game by Shanker when the game was already out of hand. That's a really bad streak. And now I'm sitting here thinking, is he going to end that? Can he reset? Can he forget that? there were some things I didn't like, guys. The screaming at your teammates after you just fumbled against air. You know, there are some things there that just kind of worry me. And I'm thinking in my game, I'm like, this isn't about whether we're talented enough to beat Mississippi State. This is about whether our team is in the right headspace to beat Mississippi State. And I got to say, man, this is why you pay a coach $5 million a year. This is a big part of his job. Get us in the damn right headspace to bounce back from that and win this game. Now, I know what he said in the post-game presser, but he watched the same film we watched after. And he's a smart guy, so I know he saw all the same things we saw too. Because it wasn't just him. He's got teams of people helping him watch film. They all saw the open guys. They all saw the line have their best pass blocking game of the season against a really tough defense.
Yep.
And they all saw that there were plays left on the field that needed to be made. This isn't just about winning at this point. This is about improving. Because this team is still playing for something. When we're in the 12 o'clock slot, right? 11 Central.
Yeah.
Win early and put the pressure on Texas A&M to not go out there and lay a dud.
Yep.
Right? Win this game, put the pressure solely back on Calzada. And then you are again in control of your own destiny in the SEC West. But we got to be in the right headspace to do it. Now, I like this coaching staff. I really do. I believe they're trying. Whether they can do it with these players, this O-line, this quarterback, and I'm talking about offense right now because our defense ended on a hot streak as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But as an offense, man, whether they can get that, pull them back in one game at home, man, we're all over the spectrum here this season. You know, Akron, after Akron and Alabama State, we were riding high. Penn State, we were like, ooh, so close. If we were just a little bit better. Georgia State, we were like, what the hell? We could finish 6-6. LSU, we were like, first win, oh my God. But still, it was a little iffy. Georgia, we were like, well, that's who we thought we were. Then we went on a little run just to come crashing back down against a team that we should have beat. Now, credit to Texas A&M. They're a good squad. Their defense lights out, man. Even better coaching. But that game was winnable. There's not a game left on our schedule, sans Georgia in the SEC championship, that's not winnable. You got to go out there and you got to win it, man. So I'm picking Auburn, but I'm not like I'm excited about it, dude. I just want to see attitude. I want them to take what happened to them last week personally.
Mike, that was funny, man. I appreciate that.
So I'm going Auburn 17, Mississippi State 10.
Okay.
Defensive battle.
Listen,
Yeah, I mean that is the level of my confidence in where we're at offensively.
Yeah.
It's not that I don't feel like we can't score 30. I've been calling 30 the last 3 games. It's about the consistency that doesn't exist when it comes to execution. When we execute, 30. When we don't execute, we can lose games where our defense allows no touchdowns. Come on, man. Going into Texas A&M, if I told you we're not going to allow a single offensive touchdown in this game, 10 every single one of you would have told me we were going to win that game.
Facts.
All of you.
That's a fact.
To the extent that we failed to execute, we lost a game where we did not give up an offensive touchdown. I got to get with my guy, Justin Ferguson, over the Auburn Observer, and I got to ask him, when was the last time we did that? When was the last time we lost a game where we didn't give up an offensive touchdown? Wow. Now, here's one thing. Let me put out a positive that I did hear when I talk about headspace. Bo was asked this week about the fumble, right? And he said a player of my experience should not make plays like that. And I thought, you know what? That might be the first time I've heard him take whole responsibility for his play. And that's encouraging to me. Now, I know he heard about it, certainly in film review and in practice. There's no way he didn't hear about it.
Yeah. Right.
But I'm worried about him mentally, man. And if you're TJ Finley, stay ready. Because, you know, I don't care what Harsin said in the postgame. I'm telling you, he saw the same thing we saw. And if you are not, and you saw it too. I doubt he gets 4 quarters of rope in this one if he carries that bad streak into this game. Otherwise, why have a backup quarterback at all?
Right.
I've been listening to clowns on Twitter essentially talk about why our backup is worthless. So this same coaching staff, and yes, I'm saying clowns, the same coaching staff that's choosing to start Bo went out and got TJ Finley because they felt like he could help this team. This is one of those situations where he might be able to help. The conversation is not crazy. And it's not necessarily a knock on anybody. Better quarterbacks have been benched for less. All over college football. I don't care if your backup is a 5-star or a half-star. Stetson Bennett is a walk-on the best team in the country by a long shot. The guy he took the job from, albeit due to injury, can't get the job back from a walk-on. So everybody's got to contribute, dude. And TJ Finley may play a really important role in how we finish down the stretch. If Bo can't get his mind right. You know, what I saw in the fourth quarter of that game, guys, was I mean, it was bad. Best pass blocking game of the year for an O-line. They had to, all they heard about after was how bad they played when they actually played well. Because of how bad the performance was from the QB position under the circumstances. TJ Finley's he's here to play a role in this. And I'm not calling for TJ Finley to start. That's not what I'm doing. So before anybody says Mike just wants to see Finley start, that's not it. I'm saying that if it starts to go south, you got to back up for a reason. And this intellectually lazy argument that, the backup quarterback is always the most popular guy on the team. Yeah, maybe sometimes he should be. When your starter goes 5 for 15 down the stretch behind good protection. Now I'm all about starting him for this game, but if it starts to go south, how many times do we have to watch this go this way? The only time we've truly seen TJ Finley, he saved us from an embarrassing loss. Let's be clear here for all the TJ Finley haters. Without Finley, this team is 5-4 and not 6-3. We're not ranked, and we're possibly not even 5-4 because of how the rails come off when you lose to a team that early like Georgia State. He's a D1 football player. I'm sick of hearing people talk about how this guy just can't play football all of a sudden. He earned a scholarship at one of the best schools in the country for football.
Twice.
And a lot of people wanted him.
Twice.
Right. And a lot of people wanted him. So let's not act like he's just some trash football player that can't kiss Bo's rings. You got to be able to go to the backup. I've seen the better coaches in college football do it. I commend Harsin, though. I can see why he stuck with him through the end of Texas A&M. I did. I was, I thought after the fumble, I thought there was a chance he might pull him, but it didn't feel unwinnable. I felt what Harsin was feeling like. I felt like he could still pull it out. It still felt within reach because the score was only like 6-3 or 9-3 at the point, right before the fumble, and it just felt like, yeah, man, like there have been some opportunities here. Maybe he'll find one. Maybe he'll hit a deep pass. But this team is still playing for something, man. And I said it on Locked On. I'll say it again. If Bo's your starter, this Auburn offense goes as Bo goes. That's it. I'm telling you, it's not the run game, guys. It's Bo. Because teams have proven they can stop our run game and force us to pass. So we really have a choice. We need Bo to play well, or we don't have a chance to win games. Not with our remaining schedule. That's it. Either that or the defense has to pitch a shutout.
And score points.
Yeah. That's it.
Yeah. Yep.
You know, that's a tough place to be.
Jazzy Joe. Okay, so all right. So I have $400 in super chats.
We'll take it right now.
Every yard Rodgers throws equals $1.
Wow.
So he's taking $1 off of that 400 for every yard that Will Rogers throws.
Okay, all right. Fair enough.
Okay.
So if he comes out for one play and gets hurt, right? That's 400 off top.
Nullified. Don't do him like that. Don't do him like that.
Yeah. Minimum one pass.
Right.
Every INT 50. Okay.
Whatever is left is the War
yard
Rapport.
kick.
$50 for every interception Auburn snatches. 100 for 50+ yard kick.
That's the best part of that entire thing.
Yeah.
I think it's hilarious you call him a Finkel now. That's hilarious.
Before we move on real quick, listen, I love Felix, but again, I spent a whole day on Twitter dispelling this myth. I want the best guy to start, period. I just want to win.
Yeah.
That's it.
And we've
That's
seen this. And that the biggest difference here, and this is, I don't understand this from anybody. We have seen Bo look bad in games. Did he come back against Florida 2019? No. Did he bring it back against LSU 2019? No. Did we somehow get it together against Minnesota in 2019? No. Okay, so last year. South Carolina, did it get better after it was a rough game? No. All right. So who else where we were clearly out of our depth or he was clearly shaken, did he bounce back? Georgia State? No. He got pulled before it could continue that way. We left him in and say, all right, well, listen, we took you out. Georgia State, you didn't get a chance to save that game. Texas A&M, we're in it. It's actually closer than the game at Georgia State was. Here you go. No. We now have examples over 3 years of getting down, playing poorly, and playing worse because you're down, shaken, mentally out of the game. Why is pulling that quarterback not an option? It's even better. Give me an example of any quarterback playing like that, being left in, and actually coming back to win the games.
It's not a ton, man. I mean, it's just not a ton. So I'm with you, man. Like I said, I just want the best guy. That's it. And these are winnable football games. This is a talented football team, right? It's just clear that teams defensively can force us to do one thing this year, which is pass. We've seen it for 10 games, right?
Yeah.
Who have we lined up against and just been able to smash mouth run the ball against? Nobody. So this year's team does demand more of the quarterback. It just does. That's it. Some teams are built that way, man. Hopefully next year the offensive line is in a place where we can run the ball. We can just line up and smash people in the mouth and run it. That's not where we're at. That doesn't mean that you just give up on winning games until they can. You win them how you can.
Yeah, that's true.
So, like, I mean, I don't know. I have such an uneasy feeling about this game, guys. Like, I don't, like, if Auburn loses, because remember, we had the range in our season predictions everywhere from 6-6 or 7-5 to 10-2, right? My prediction was the first one to get eliminated. I had the most sunshine pumpy prediction of them all because I expected better play this year. I thought that he would take the next step, knowing that he would be the quarterback the entire season.
Yeah.
So I expected him to play well. It just hasn't materialized. Now 9-3 is still on the table. 8-4 is still on the table. 7-5 is still on the table. 6-6 is still on the table.
Yeah.
I just think that it can go either way here for me. Like, it can go either way. We got to get it together, dude. This is mission critical for Harsin, I think. Save this season, man. You got a good thing going here. Finish it strong. Finish it better than the last guy would have.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
You got the talent. You do. And you got the know-how. And you hired the right guys. That's it. I don't want him to have to learn this the hard way.
All right. Well,
We're going to
that's
win. F all that bullshit.
Yeah.
Before we get out of here, man, Mike, give us some last announcements, man.
Hey, listen, man. Thank you for coming to the Church of the War Rapport, become an insider. This is kind of like the offering plate that goes around. You can become an insider for $5.99 from our YouTube page. If you're on an iPhone, you won't see that join button, but just log on from a computer or from your Droid. You'll see that join button. Choose insider, upgrade. We're here for you. You're not going to want to miss the film reviews, or maybe you're going to want to miss them. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. But become an insider. A lot of you have done this. This is a great way to support our content, so we appreciate everybody who does that. Again, congratulations to our insider, Mike Hicks, for winning tickets to the Mississippi State game. Mike Caesar will be down there. Or Ike, somebody's going to come say hi to you and take a picture, so get ready for that. Our merch store is live. You can find this link in the About section of our YouTube channel. Special shout-out to our sponsor, BUSR. Please visit busr.com/rapport. Sign up for an account. Whether you place 1 bet a year or 10 bets a day, busr.com/rapport. Support us by supporting our sponsors. Check us out on podcasts, guys. We are live on every podcast platform, bringing you this Wednesday night War Room. Get set up for you guys. And last but not least, never forget it's basketball season. Virginia double dribble.
Of course they
100%.
did.
100%.
Appreciate that very much. Tony.
Tony.
We're equal to you, sir.
Appreciate you, my good friend. Guys, thanks again for hanging out with us on this Wednesday night. Be sure before you get out of here, share the video. If you're watching on replay, share the video on social media using hashtag Get Your Weight Up, Facebook, Twitter. Help people find us. Help us grow. Also, get the thumbs up, like this video, and subscribe to our channel if you have not done so already. You can also hit us up on Twitter and Instagram and Facebook at The War Rapport. We are TW Report on TikTok. Signing off for now, guys. We will see you this weekend on our live show. Bright and early. It's going to be an early game, so we'll be on early hanging with you guys, but we will be here. But until then, have a great rest of your week, and as always, War Eagle.
Where you go.